welcome back to HushGremlins podcast. My name is JOKA, and with me here is CHRISFOCUS.
What's up?
What is that?
What's up?
After all my hype.
What's up?
Anyways, welcome back to the last episode of this season.
Woo.
We've loved the journey that we've gone on
way.
with you guys. We've enjoyed ourselves. I think we enjoyed ourselves too much, sis. Too much. We had such a good time.
I hope that people are
don't
still
have their
listening.
cover.
Come on, we'll play this by enjoying yourself too much.
No, they will listen now. Were you guys not looking forward to this? Were you not waiting on us to do this? Thank you guys for staying tuned with us up until this point. We love you. We may have several big things going on with us in our individual lives, but we're happy that we're able to come on this journey we decided to go on together.
Yep.
And we're looking for
journey.
Very sweet one.
Sweet.
We're also looking forward to
Sweat.
We're also looking forward to having you, with us in season 2. We look forward to all the awesome
Even
stuff.
us, we are looking forward to season 2, Seth.
Because we didn't even know.
No, we never said like this. But we know season 2 they come, Sha, but we know. But we never know, Sha.
We're here.
And this will be a good time to also plug ourselves. If you want to sponsor, we have not said this since episode 1. But this is the last episode. This is our only chance to say it now. Sponsor, help us, yo. It's not that, especially JOKA. JOKA that sounded like as if she has $175 million in the bank. We don't have. Not that me, I'm still sounding normal.
I have.
You will have know that.
I have 70 million.
He needs this. So please, if you want to sponsor us.
Yeah.
How can you be saying we are asking for sponsor now? You are saying you have. This is the problem. These are the issues.
God.
These are the issues.
Okay. Let me co-plug.
These are the example issues.
Calm down now.
Anyway, please help us.
I'm co-plugging. If you'd like to sponsor any episode of the HushGremlins podcast,
let's sponsor the entire season too.
If you'd like to sponsor the entire season, if you want us to have munchies while we're working, if you want us to chop something, if you want us to
sponsor that part.
Yes.
You could sponsor
drinking
gadgets.
I don't mean drinking like that, but if you want to buy drinks, or gadgets. You need to know the crude stuff we're dealing with right now. Maybe I should do a short video. We need to probably take a short video of us while we're on air right now.
So you can see our setup, but you're crude.
Crude, but really delightful. We need to
refine the crude into another product.
Crude but really delightful. I mean, that's why we've enjoyed this.
I mean, it's been fun.
It's been a lot of fun.
And we are trying as much as possible to bring out that diamond in the rough. As much as it's crude, we are trying to make the production sound really good.
Really good.
We are trying really hard with the sweats to make it really
I'm going
good.
to, at this point, give a lot of kudos to CHRISFOCUS here. Radio genius, audio production master. Mastery.
Yo.
So this is us. This is our WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp channel thing that we talk and share.
This is our microphone.
This is our microphone. This is our resource. This is how we see our resource.
So this is the microphone. This is the recording interface.
Yeah.
Because there's a recording interface. This is where we store the files of the recording.
Which we've had to start
so we've had to also
to Google
diversify
Drive.
Our storage to Telegram, to Drive.
Google Drive.
And so that's...
I think
if you go lost...
I think people can also take this as a pointer to, if you want to start a podcast, see how could we are starting. Enjoy the process. It's not...
But we believe...
We wanted mics. We worked for mics, honestly. He's a podcaster on his own. He's a audio person on his own, radio master on his own. I'm also like a podcast person. I'm also doing videos, consistently pushing out content. We really pushed for mics.
Yep.
But look at what we're doing. This is where we're starting from. And we're going all the way with this. So, yeah.
Someday we're going to put this video side by side.
Yeah.
With a gang, deng. Get set up. Don't worry. It's going to happen. You will see it.
These are the bottles of water that have kept us company. Where's my bottle of water? Where's my... Okay.
These are you. Look at my green bottle.
Like you're the
of
hawk.
water. The green bottle.
Like you're the hawk. And this is mine.
Yes.
Our water that has kept us company. And this is This is it.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay. Anyway, if you want to see that video, you should probably check it out. I don't know where you will
We
put
don't
it,
know
Sha,
where
but
we'll put it, but
we don't even know if we want to put it yet.
We can make it an Easter egg
Right.
for
Go and
people to
find it
win
somewhere.
gifts. If you can find.
And I have some hidden accounts like that.
This is what it is.
I think you will look at it, bah.
It's a terror.
But anyway,
Focus is a terror.
You would see that
But
video.
we'll be kind to you.
definitely.
Me,
You'll
I'm
see it.
kind. We'll definitely.
So
share
yeah,
it
if you want that, if you want the partnership and all of that, we are here.
Sponsorship, bundle,
here.
anything you want to do. For some people, it could be that you just want to sponsor. You just want to give.
You want to
freely, collaborate. Yeah, would like to meet other podcasters, have a chat, and just gist.
We are open to collaboration too.
We love gist.
We'll
Open to all kinds of collaborations.
We are here for it. Okay.
Our topic for today, final left. It's making me feel sad that this is the last one for a long time. But anyways, our conversation today is centered around emotional intelligence and the Warren Buffett rule. We may have mentioned emotional intelligence in some episodes past. It may have come up, maybe not as a conversation or as a topic, but just as a sense of how things should be done, in the way we talk, in the decisions we encourage you to take, in the direction we lead you towards. But today, that's going to be the center of our conversation. And our resource, I think we should do a shout out to Inc.Africa. They've been a great resource, people. I look forward to writing for them someday. It'll be really nice to contribute to the organization Inc.Africa. So you can find most of our resource on incafrica.com. That's INCAFRICA. If you cannot spell Africa, I'm sorry, I can't help you. Incafrica.com.
It's not me that say it, though. It's not that say
it. Incafrica.com. How won't you be able to spell that? That's not a conversation. So this particular resource or article is by Bill Murphy Jr. That is www.billmurphyjr.com at BillMurphyJR.
Social media.
That's him on social media. And it's under the Icons and Innovators blog section. And the title of the resource is How Emotionally Intelligent People Use the Warren Buffett Rule to Become Exceptionally Persuasive. It's about how to use emotional intelligence to find those 1 foot bars. How to put your feet in.
So he, I think the 1 foot bar thing now is just, finding step by step. Do not let the steps be so high that you can't climb them, that you can't take those steps to climb them. Find the 1 foot bars where you can just like your regular home staircase. Imagine if your home staircase was something so high that you have to hold on to with your hand and climb. You won't want to be going downstairs and upstairs anyhow.
Well, I think the thing is, because there's a quote they reference, and it says it's a 21-word cheat sheet on how to use emotional intelligence to become more persuasive. It's more about, there may be a 21-step staircase. In this case, a 7 foot bar or 7 foot bars. You're not looking at jumping over the entire 21.
You're just looking for
You're just going for, so it's not you trying to find the solution to overcoming or being persuasive for such huge, exerting, stretching bars, but more like a step by step, just the 1 foot bars.
Just bite-sized.
Bite-sized. You're not trying to eat the bowl. You're not eating the entire bowl of porridge. You're taking a spoonful.
Just like that.
One at a time.
Enjoying
so
it.
1 foot bars. It's more like for those of us who go rock climbing. You're just looking, if it's a really steep hill, you're looking for where you can just plug in your foot.
Physicist. So rock climber, I'll get it now.
Oh boy, I hate this guy. Where you can just put in your foot a little bit. So if you can just find a foothold. Just 1 foothold.
Lift.
1 foothold.
Foothold.
1 foothold. 1 foothold. So I think you can do more justice to speaking about the highlights of this resource. So I'm going to hand over to you.
Why is it me that can do more justice?
I don't know.
I don't wear wig and robe. I not carry gavel.
Wow. I hate your puns.
So, Buffett was talking about business opportunities, but it applies to, persuasion opportunities too. And emotionally intelligent people know that there are simple rhetorical tactics you can use to find those 1-foot bars in conversations and become exceptionally persuasive.
So, in my opinion, I think what just happened is that Bill Murphy Jr. took something that Warren Buffett had said for business opportunities,
Or maybe
and
something
then
that Warren
adapted
Buffett employs. Yeah.
and adapted it to how to be more persuasive.
And through the emotional intelligence lens also.
Because you don't want to be manipulative of anybody.
Yeah, because there's just there's a gray area there.
Yeah,
there's a very gray area there.
Definitely.
And so he was talking about how to make sure that you have clear, understandable message. Because nobody likes to go do hard work. Nobody likes to think. Now, when I say nobody likes to think, in the sense of it feels like there are patterns and there are okay. Let me come from the place of UI UX. I'm very sorry. I'm very, very sorry.
We finally entered this shokoto.
I'm very, very sorry.
I thought we were going to avoid it this entire season.
So don't make me think is one huge concept in UI UX. I think it's a book as well. And don't make me think just means that when I want to do a task, do not make me think about it twice before I'm able to accomplish that task or before I'm able to execute that task. Let me just be, if for instance, if you pick up your phone now, you already know that you're just tapping on the side to turn on the screen, right? You don't have to think about that. You already know that if you want to pop the volume, you know where the volume is. You just don't have to think about it. You just pop the volume. So
double tap.
You just double tap. So it's just like that. Make sure that you have a clear, understandable message. Do not make people have to go back home and say, what was he even really saying? Was he saying this or was he saying that?
So articulate effectively. Like be very clear, crystal clear. Like
use layman words, vocabulary. Do not be verbose. Do not be unnecessarily superfluous with your words.
This is what we're talking about.
Which is why I just had to do that so that you understand what I'm saying.
Because I was going to say that. Do you think we've been given that clear, understandable message throughout our conversations? Throughout our episodes.
No, I feel like if there's anything, it's you that has been doing the big English. Me, I've just been here like Ekpeleo.
Do people understand Ekpele and Enle?
That's not. We're not talking about like language here. We're talking about vocabulary.
It's clear, understandable message. Who are the people listening to us? Are they all Yoruba speaking people?
That's it. You do realize that this is another conversation entirely, right? Okay. You do realize that.
I don't realize, but okay. But who, in the spirit of last episode of the season, who has been given a clearer, more understandable message throughout our conversations?
I don't know.
We're throwing that out to everybody. Let them answer.
Clearer, more understandable.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway.
Or who has been given a clearer?
I don't like the fact that you're making this a competition here.
No, it's not a competition. I'm just.
My hand is on my head.
Okay. So we're going to the next one.
So ask a lot of questions, right? I think one thing I'm learning right now is how to ask a lot of questions, because you run at the risk of feeling like you know a lot of stuff. You could fill up the other holes, is why you would stop at not asking the question that you feel you should ask or that pops to your mind because you feel like you can answer those questions by yourself, the assumption thing. But you need to ask a lot of questions. You need to let them fill up those holes themselves, right?
Okay.
Ask a lot of questions. Ask questions that you, because I'm starting to learn now that even questions that I feel like are not needed, questions that I feel like are trivial, questions that I feel like will not impact the conversation in any way, turn out to be the ones that are the meat of the conversations. Turn out to be the ones that will
garner the most information.
The pivotal part of the information would help you bring them out of whoever it is that you're having the conversation with. So ask questions. Ask a lot of questions.
I think that makes people feel like you're actually interested in them. You're listening to them. You're intent on listening to them.
That's right. That's what I would think. But I've been in a conversation with somebody who who actually chastised me for that.
For asking questions.
Say I'm asking a lot of questions. That am I a journalist? What did she even say at ESF? This was 2017.
And you remember, it didn't make you feel good.
It just then now, because like I before then I ask a lot of questions. I'm always, because I'm just curious and I just want to ask. I talk to a lot of people, and then here you are, 2017. So it's something I didn't have to think about, because I know that's how I
That's
converse. I have my
that's your
conversations.
conversational style.
I just ask questions, and then when you bring on your answers, I tell you my own opinions. We just have the banter like that. And then here you are, that same thing, and then you're telling me, I'm asking a lot. Why am I asking a lot of questions? I'm asking a lot of questions, and then you go ahead and give me names as well, like I'm a journalist and stuff like that. So, do you
I
get?
think
So,
maybe it's
so
just
I'll
how
say
she
I would
must have
think
said it. That
it wasn't in the chat.
Oh,
There was no tone or anything like that.
Sweet.
But of course, there were emojis of her, like it would feel like scorn.
Like why
why are you
questions?
asking so many questions? And
Did you just meet this person? Like, were you people just getting to know each
no,
other?
we weren't just getting
friends
to
and
know
stuff?
each other, but we weren't in a close circle
Okay.
kind of thing. Do you
Okay.
get?
So you had known each other for a long time.
And at that point, we had just reignited
your communications.
our communications.
Oh.
So yeah. So I don't know. So what I'm just saying there is, ask a lot of questions. You don't let people like that make you feel like
ask questions. Like
ask
if
questions.
especially if you're not clear about something and you actually want to be more representative of the person, you want to know what your position is, like if you share the same values, you can't make assumptions. There was a word I was looking for, I couldn't find it. If there's something, assumption something, I can't remember what it is, or we use it a lot, and it speaks to, you just can't make assumptions. There is no way
cannot.
you make assumptions and you turn out.
But shout out to us overthinkers, yeah.
Well, shout out to us. But you still have to operate from the place of minus your assumptions as much as possible.
Yep.
You can't make assumptions. It's not going to go well with you.
And I think it's one thing I was saying recently, that it's okay to be an overthinker, but do not operate from the place of your overthinking. Whatever you do.
Word.
No, it's just
hands up.
It's just simple things.
Swale. Hey! Hot.
What? It's not.
Yes, is hot. Hey!
Oh, AC, please.
Pardon me.
So, but yeah.
So the third one is stay silent.
Stay silent.
A conversation is more than one interaction. It's just not you talking. It's not just you, because if, for example, two gremlins or two gremlin ushers, two gremlin ushers are together, they've listened to this episode and they come together and everybody's asking questions of everybody, somebody has to stay silent. It leads to the next point, which is you listen. You don't just stay silent and look for a word to be quiet. You also actively listen.
Or stay silent and
be absent,
brewing your own next question.
Your questions in your head.
And not listening to them.
No,
so, yeah.
It's not done. So stay silent. It says a conversation is a whole series of interconnected mini interactions.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not just the words out of your mouth. Somebody like CHRISFOCUS and I sometimes bump knuckles. I can slap him on his back.
Which you are very wicked for anyway.
How am I wicked?
Go on.
How? You can see what we're talking about. He has facial expressions he does to throw me off. God forgive him.
No. Now continue. I'm not. I'm just
making a point.
Please.
So there are a whole series of interconnected mini interactions that happen between emotionally intelligent people or just between people. It's room. You're giving room for people to share their own thoughts as well. People to, push past themselves and come out into the limelight. You're giving them room to shine.
Yep.
Basically, when you stay silent.
And I think it's also one of the things that was mentioned in How to Win Friends and Influence People, which is you got to listen. You got to let people talk.
Yeah.
And while they're talking, you have to listen. It's the respect that you owe them.
Yeah.
It's the responsibility that you have that you have to let people talk.
Yeah.
It's one of the ideas in that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah. So talking about listening as well, it says that it's easy to get caught up in tactics of persuasion that you forget to listen. Because when you listen, you hear what people are actually saying, how they actually want what they want. So here you are thinking that this is what they need, right? But when you listen, you're able to find out that you'll just be wasting. And that's another thing. You could waste 2 years. And I feel like there are some things in history that, given the time, I could dredge up, where people have wasted 2 years in trying to convince a community or a culture of people to make a certain decision. But at the end of the day, if they had just listened, you'd have known that it would never have worked anyway. You could have just gone with just this little bit of tweak. This is what the community people want, and that's it. I think one medical outreach had gone on once. They had come with doctors and all these specialists.
The one you went to recently?
No, not the one I went to recently. I think that was in 2021, in the earlier years of 2021, or
months.
The earlier months rather, or the latter part of 2020. But I think it was early 2021. And we had gone on this outreach, and the doctors and nurses were talking to me and sharing their experience, telling me how they had come with all of the gadgets and all of the drugs and everything. And these people just came to them and said, no, we don't want you to just come once in a while. We want you to set up shop here and know that we can walk in to talk to you at any time. And they were like, but this is federal government, we cannot build this. And the people say, you know what, don't worry, we will build it. We have land. We're going to build it. We're going to give you. So every time we go, or they go for the medical outreach, they come with lunch. They try to come with lunch. They come with gifts, corn cobs, potatoes and food and stuff, to just try to, entice these doctors, medical personnel who come to treat them for free.
Yeah.
A lot of the people who come, and because it's public health, a lot of them are older people. A lot of them who come just want to share their problems. Their daughter who refused to greet them or call them the past week or the past month, things like that. And they just want the doctors to come once a week, as opposed to once a month where they just show with serious gadgets. They want them to have a place in their community. You may not always be present, but want you to know that you have a place, and we want to know that you're here with us. And when we need you, we can walk into your center. So just by listening, you get to have that. And there will be no need to push persuasion to certain degrees or to certain levels and then violate, the rights, the personal state of mind, the essence of the people or communities that
which,
you're talking to.
Speaking about violation and not listening to the community where you come to, you know about the Cobra effect, Abby?
No.
So the Cobra effect... Cobra, like Cobra, the snake, yeah.
Oh.
Cobra effect.
Yeah.
And I know.
Ugh.
Sorry if you're listening to this at night. Okay. So the Cobra, it's actually a thing now. It has a definition right now. Like,
really?
They've made it a thing. But the story of how Cobra effect came to be is that the British were somewhere in India. British were always trying to take over places when they were doing just the way they came to Nigeria and did what do they call, what's the word, what do they call that thing? Is it colonization? No, not slave trade. Colonization, that's what they call it. So they were some of them
colonies.
Like that in India like that, and so they realized those that were there, the British men that were there, or men and women, realized that
the British Empire.
that the community had snake issues. Like there were a lot of snakes.
Okay.
A lot of them around, and of course you could get beaten, you could die. I mean, the locals will probably have their way around those snakes and stuff like that. But this is not your community, so you could die easily, definitely.
Yeah.
And so they wanted to find a solution to it. They didn't speak to the locals to find a solution to it, so they came up with their own solution. And this is what they came up with: is they told the locals that for every, I'm not sure the number now, I think it's for every maybe 10 snakes that you bring, or 30, you get a certain amount of money.
Okay.
So if you bring maybe 30 dead snakes, I'm not sure of that number, but maybe if you bring 30 dead snakes, you get maybe £20 or something like that.
Okay.
And so it started, of course, it went on like that. Snakes, the cobras started reducing around because, of course, people had to go out and try to kill so that they could get the prize money. But then it became that people started rearing cobras
to be able
to go submit to get the prize money.
So they were breeding cobras for money.
Breeding cobras for money. When the British guys now realized that, these guys have found a loophole in this thing. Yes, the solution is there because there are no more snakes around. And then when they realize that they have to stop, because that means that's going to be endless. People are going to just keep rearing cobras and they will keep getting the money. The prize money. It would never stop. So when they realized that, they put a stop, they put a peg on the prize money for cobras. And what happened? People who had cobras that they were rearing released them.
And so we had the cobras.
So we even had more cobras than
snakes back into the community,
and more than they had more than the problem they had before. So they had more cobras. So now I want
to hug everybody involved in this story: the British, the Indians, and maybe even the snakes, possibly. So, I want to hug everybody and be feeling like, what? So that's how, gone through stuff.
There's the cobra effect. There's actually the definition. It stands as a definition for something.
I see that now. It says perverse. Another name for it is perverse incentive. And is this continuous
where
loophole?
You think you want to solve something,
it's
but you're not solving
that is just feeling.
But you end up just worse off than when you try to solve the problem. So
rewards people for making the issue worse.
But I feel like if they had spoken to the locals, try to have that exchange with them, like how do we do this cobra situation,
or how do you handle living in this place,
and you're still alive, you're not dead, right? You're not, because so how are you doing it?
They're supposed to be wiped out. Like humans are not supposed to be living in that place anymore.
Like deadly. So the fact that they didn't listen to them, they didn't speak to them, they didn't ask them questions. They didn't listen to them. They didn't, they didn't acknowledge them or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is what now we have cobra effects.
Oof.
Yeah.
This is such a phenomenal story. I'm sad that you've not told me this before. I'm very happy that I'm hearing it now, though.
Is the podcast that bring it out from the memory.
I'm glad that I'm hearing it now.
So also
which is, I think this is the final one.
Which is seek to imprint the image of the request. And I love this one particularly.
Did you read the story? Did you read the story?
I read the Bible story.
Oh God,
I loved it.
It was so beautiful.
I loved it.
I'm like, I want to know his accountant and be friends with him. I really do.
I really loved. I loved.
So it says you have
to
be, memorable to be persuasive.
It was there was a TED talk that I watched, and the guy was talking about how you need to touch the other senses.
Yeah.
For you to be memorable. And I think what he did that day, after the TED Talk, because for TED Talk is
visual and
audio. Right? And then he was trying to get the
and
taste.
if your presence feel how it makes you feel.
So he was trying to get the taste. So when he was done with his talk, he threw in candy into the audience. He just sprinkled candies.
People would definitely remember that. There is no way.
And I was like, yes, I like that. No, made sense. That. So he's just trying to say here that you need to try to touch the other senses. And
be memorable. So he was saying that this is Bill Murphy talking now. He has written separately about this particular tactic. And the best example he can share with us is one that has happened to him personally.
Events.
So his accountant, who also happens to be one of his best friends, sends him tax accountant, sends him a Bible in the mail, then called him to swear.
Let's give a small backstory. I know we are strapped for time, but the backstory is just that this is tax accountant. He doesn't pay his tax on time, so they have to at the 11th hour rush
every time
to do his tax. He used one line, but he feels like he's a small boy in their tax thing because it's like they deal with big clients, but because he's his friend, they keep him in their books because, your tax is small that we are handling, but we'll keep I know you personally because they handle big clients, like bigger. So the fact that he's on two odd sides, like you are now sending it late, and then we have to at the 11th hour rush your work and all of that. So then we now get to the part where they have to send him the Bible.
The friend sends him a Bible in the mail and calls him to swear on that Bible that he would give his tax prep information on time the following year. And it worked so well, of course, because he was able to fix up and get it to him on time. And he says why did it work so well? And so much better than if he had simply pleaded with me or cajoled me to send him my email, you know. And he says it's because he leveraged on so many conditions. Well, there's like this summary here where he says that there was anticipation because he was told to expect a package. There was humor. There was humor. Because
like you would be laughing like what's
wrong with this guy? It's sort of like saying Chris Focus sends me a Bible and says, oh yeah, I've sent you a Bible. Oh yeah, go and swear on it.
Put your phone in loudspeaker.
That you will send me
topics. Put your left hand in the air and put the right hand on your Bible.
On the Bible. And then there's the physicality of it.
The fact that there's
the
a Bible
physical that I could hold on to, which is feel.
Yeah.
And then
there's also audio because you'd have sent him an email.
Audio and visual. It could even be on call.
Yeah.
For me, the humor is the more emotional part.
Yeah.
That's the humor. Anticipation and humor is their emotional parts. Anticipation may be more logical. You know, you're excited like and expecting and expecting.
What's going?
Yeah, and then humor is just like he says he was smiling and laughing throughout the entire interaction.
Of course.
There was visual. He saw the Bible, opened the package, checked. He must have gone through the Bible to say, did he write something in it? Why is he sending me a Bible? Does he think I don't have a Bible at home? You know, that sort of thing. And he says the Bible is now on his desk. He can't throw it out because every time he looks at it,
like
it
now,
reminds him
that I have to do this
to say I have to send him my tax prep on time. There was physicality. He was focused on what he was doing, literally swearing. And then auditory.
Like he was swearing in as a president.
I think we have a little bit of information of the swear. He says, I want you to put your phone on speaker, put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand and repeat after me. Bill is laughing, but he says he should repeat, I, Bill Murphy Jr., do solemnly swear that in 2022, I will break my streak of leaving my tax prep to the last minute, and I will instead compile and transfer all of my documents by the end of January, mid-February at the latest, so that my good friend Griff, who is not getting any younger, will not have them on his plate at the end of tax season, when time is short and his days are already long enough as it is.
The humor.
Hilarious. I mean, I love this kind of friendship. I really do love this kind of friendship. But yeah, this is what we have. Imagine how you are feeling upon hearing this story that we have just shared with you. Imagine how much more it will be imprinted on the mind of Bill, who is persuaded to carry out a particular event or action, so to say. And this is what we mean. You also have to imprint the image of the request. For
and I'm also going to go back to how to win friends and influence people. Is he was talking about one way to remember the name of people is to attach their name to something on their physique, something on their physical body, which is maybe just find a way to connect their name to maybe their face or their hair. Or maybe something they are wearing.
More like Chris Focus droopy eyes.
Something like that. It could be focus, like it could just be that focus, and you're looking at the droopy eyes. The droopy eyes is focus somewhere, like you know, stuff like that.
Focus droopy eyes, focus eyes.
If he's Joker, I could be looking at Joker as she made me laugh. Joker
laugh.
I'm just saying like it's something that you could just connect.
I'm about to say that. What can you connect me with physically?
Let me see.
What are you thinking about? I'm right here.
No, I'm not thinking. I'm just looking like. Okay. Which one should I use? Is it Joker I should use or I should use Jenny?
How do you want to use it? Which one do you want to use?
We'll talk about it later.
No! Me there, I need your...
Oh yeah, Joker. Let's see. Joker, the big smile. Hey, that one was. Joker, the big smile. Yes.
This boy wants to make me blush. I'll not blush. Eyes not blushing.
So yeah, how to win friends and influence. That book, it's
phenomenal. It keeps popping up for Focus. Focus is like,
and it's crazy because I didn't finish reading the book. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah, I don't think I ever finished it.
And it's funny because the person I borrowed it from, I lost it and I had to buy the person a new one to return. Oh, shout out to you. I don't want to name drop her, but if you're listening, shout out to you, Dorcas. Let me name drop it. Dorcas, shout out to you.
She knows.
It was our undergraduate days.
But yeah, that's what we have for today, and that's all we have for this
the season. I feel like we need to be throwing confetti.
We need to do like party
and put all the
Thank you very much for joining us so far, as much as you have throughout this season. We love you. We celebrate you. We thank you so much for sticking with us, listening to our gists, listening to our admonishments
that we're just saying,
listening to even the things that we wanted to almost hook your necks, like you must hear it. Listening to
it's not our fault.
You have to stay awesome. You have to step out into the light and shine. That's
how they built us.
We're just
that's how they
those
built
people.
Us.
That's just who we are. But we're very grateful that you've been on this journey with us. We're going to continue to be with you on social media, via email. You can send messages. You can just reach out to us and let us know.
We typically respond as soon as we're online. We cannot promise that we're always online.
That's very good. We typically respond as soon as we're online. Facebook should have that. Instead of making me be typically respond in 1 hour, Facebook and Google, they should have that. This typically respond as soon as they're online. Mm-hmm. That's our signature. That's who we are.
Yep.
But we're really grateful to have had you join us on this season. Mm-hmm. For those of you who have not seen us before, I feel like by our voices, I want them to just draw art. Even if you are not Picasso, we don't need you to be Picasso. If you can only do stick figures, we want to see it.
Want to see it. Fan art, we'll post it.
We just want to know what you think of how we look with our voices.
Yeah.
And then when you now see us, if it compares,
If it compares, then you know that you are the Lord of Arts.
Serious Lord of Arts, because nobody juju be that.
Lord of Arts.
No
because
na juju na. Nobody juju be that.
Queen Mother.
So yes, again, thank you. I don't want to go. Somehow.
We gotta go. See you guys next season.
We'll see you next season 2.
Yeah, and
we don't know what's going to come up. I think we're going to open the floor for you guys to tell us. Maybe the gremlins you're dealing with, you want to banish.
We'll be listening to you.
We'll be silent now to listen to you. And to see, the gremlins, to hear the gremlins you want to banish from your lives completely. Would want to banish them with you. Want to be on this journey with you. So we'll be here waiting, listening, watching you, being present to take on what you bring to us so that we can deliver you even more valuable content in season 2.
And do not be shy to let us know what we should do more
better,
of, what we should stop,
what we should do less of,
and what we should...
Are we going to stop, Sha? Depends.
No, the thing is, see, there's something that we cannot just stop.
Gremlins. Because like this one now, I cannot stop it. I know.
What do you know that they will say I should stop?
I don't know.
So what I'm not saying. We have not even started, but you have already, I think that
this part of it.
So anyways, if there's anything like that, just do not be shy. Let's talk. See, we are open people.
Yeah, you can just share.
In fact, we will love you more for it.
We don't promise that we would do it,
but we
do
feedback.
Promise to hear from you. We would listen to you.
We'd love the feedback.
We'd love to hear from you. So what you want us to do more of, what you want us to do less of, things you want us to pop up in season 2. Things like that.
To make it better.
We're very fluid.
We just the wing am, We just look say,
what is wing am? After like 5 years of planning.
Are we not winging this life too? Let's be going.
Oh God, he's the winger. I'm the coach who's intentional.
What? Let's not even start that.
Don't do that. Don't smear my name in the mud.
Which name is that? Which of the name? Is it Jennifer
Oluwakoinsola Akinkusote?
Okay.
What do you mean?
Let's be going on.
What do you mean?
All right. See you guys next season. My name is CHRISFOCUS.
Signing out, and I'm JOKA. Toodles.
Bye.